can tell me what was your real problem with it. Okay. So at present I'm giving 2 people. So later we can keep, because we have only one period in a day, in a week. So I need to cover the portion also. So we will have like that, two people at a time. Okay. Yes. Okay. What do you mean by unbalanced force? What is your idea of balanced and unbalanced force? Okay.
Unbalanced force means not
Angelia. Anjali, I cannot see your face. Come. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Angelia, what do you understand by the term unbalanced force? Okay, forget
Ma'am,
about
can you
what is
hear me?
force. What is force? What is force?
Force is a push or pull.
Push or pull. Okay. So push or pull. If you push it, in which direction an object move? Lakshmi, if you push, you can think about one direction is forward, another direction is backward. Can you tell me, if you push an object, is it forward or backward?
forward.
Okay, good. Bahija, if you pull something towards it, what is it is called? Is it backward or forward?
Forward.
Pulling towards you.
Backward.
Backward. So you can always think about a forward direction or positive direction is moving away from you. Negative direction, it is moving towards you. Okay. So if one object has to move towards you, what you should do? What type of force you should act? Push or pull? We need to pull. Okay. So if you are, if two people are pulling. Kenton Baja is pulling towards it and Gauri is pulling away. I mean, pulling in opposite direction. Suppose Bahaja succeeded to bring the table towards it. So, who is applying more force? Is it Gauri or the Bahaja?
Bahaja.
Bahaja. Got it? So, this is the one situation you have to understand where which force is greater. Whether the force by second person or force by first person. Okay. Now, when I talk about force, it can act in 2 ways. One, the force can act in forward direction. Another, then forces can act in the same direction, not forward direction. There are 2 ways a force can act. One is in the same direction. All the forces are pushing or pulling or whatever action you do, you are applying the force in the same direction. Another way means opposite direction. Correct? So, if you are applying all the forces in direction, in that cases, total force will be sum of all the forces. Are you getting me? For example, Amal, Shane, all are trying to push a heavy wooden box. Amal and Shane is pushing it in the same direction. So naturally, the total force acting on that object, that will be, for example, Shane is 20, Amal is 30. So what will be the total force acting on that object?
15.
50 Newton. So unbalanced force is something which makes the change in an object, either from rest to motion or rest to motion, or change the speed of a body which is moving, a speed of a body which is the direction of a body which is moving. Okay. Or change. For example, now Shane and Amal, he was applying, is it he is changing the state of rest or changing the state of motion in that case? There are 2 ways. One is changing the state of rest of an object and changing the state of motion of an object. In both the cases, unbalanced force can act. Correct? So my question to Shane, when you and Amal pushed, are you changing the state of rest or changing the state of motion? Shane, you tell me. Changing the? Because wooden box is lying there, you both of you pushing. So are you changing the state of rest of that object or motion of that object? What do you do in that case? Audio, Shane, you are saying, but I can't hear. Anyone others can hear what Shane say?
Ma'am, both.
Both? How can we both, Gauri?
It's changing the position of rest.
Box was lying on the floor, correct? Amal
Yes.
and Shane was pushing it. Then it started moving.
Changing
So,
the state.
what is the actual thing happened? Change. Tanmay said correct. It is the changing the state of rest. The wooden box was at rest position. When Amal and Shane pushed, it moved forward means they both acted unbalanced force.
Excuse me, ma'am.
It changes the state of rest. That's the meaning of it in that case. Yes, Gauri?
Ma'am, state of rest is a portion of state of motion, isn't it?
State of rest is the determining the position of that particular object. Gauri, can you tell me the effects of forces? Gauri, can you tell me effects of the forces?
It can change the speed of an object. It can change the direction of an object. It can change the size of an object.
Okay.
It can change the position of an object.
Yes. So now in all the effects, Gauri, which is more what they were doing in all this? Are they increasing the speed, changing the direction, changing the shape, or changing the position in that?
Changing the position.
So in that, the effect of unbalanced force is only changing the position. There was not doing any kind of a change in their motion. Why? The box was rest position before. It was at rest means it is not moving at all. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
that is in that cases, it is only changing the position. Now, let us now take the condition. A car is moving. Nothing is said. A car is moving in a straight line road. And I am asking, there is no change. Only car is continuously moving.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in page number 132, in that one box is given yellow box.
Yes.
The state of motion of an object is described by its speed and the direction of motion.
Yes.
The state of rest is considered to be the state of zero speed. An object may be at rest or in motion. Both are a state of motion. So both of them, both the options. Ma'am, there's one sentence, an object may be at rest or in motion. Both are right. State of motion.
May be at rest or in motion. That is the two condition. May be at rest or in motion means when it is at rest. When it is rest, when you apply the unbalanced force, it starts moving. There is nothing more changing over there. Now, when an object is moving on a straight line, if you don't apply any force on it, it continuously moving. So, if it should have some change in that motion, we should either increase or decrease the speed, either change the direction, you have to do it. Then only that unbalanced force effect will be there on that. So, according to Newton's first law, so this is 9th standard, you are going to learn about it. According to Newton's first law, an unbalanced body will remain its state of rest or state of motion until an external unbalanced force applied. That is the Newton's first law of motion. You'll be studying in 9th standard. So this force concept first discovered by Newton. I did not teach you this because already you are going to learn in higher classes. So since 8th standard, it is just telling you to what is balance and mass. I just keep it there. If you want to give, this is the 3 laws of motion we have. One is Newton's first law. Second is Newton's law of momentum. Another law of impulse. So 3 laws are there. According to first law, what is telling that a body will remain its state of rest or state of motion until an external unbalanced force acting on it. What does it mean? Can you explain, Gauri? What is the meaning of that law?
An object will remain in the same state of motion in the same
state of rest.
State of rest if an external force didn't act on it.
Until means till an unbalanced force act, it will continue to be in that motion. I got it. So state of rest or state of motion. So an object, a book is lying on the table. It will lie there for many hours till you apply an external force. So at that position, the book is experiencing no forces. We call zero force, and that is a condition we call balanced force. A book is lying. Till you apply another force, it is lying on it. So at that position, the book is experiencing a balanced force or zero force. That means it is acting so many forces at the time. There's a frictional force on the book. There's a gravitation force on the book. But still, the book is lying there. So it is a balanced force. But if I take that book from that position, experiencing unbalanced force. Got it?
Yes,
So because here, what did I tell you? Did I change the state of rest, state of motion when I pick up the book?
state of rest.
State of rest. Similarly, just imagine this this book is just floating in the air. Floating in the air continuously. Can you tell me that time it is experiencing unbalanced force? Is there any change in motion? It is continually floating in the air in a particular in one direction.
Balanced force.
Is it experiencing unbalanced force that time?
No.
Force, because it is continue with this state. It is continue with this state. Okay. So it is in the state of motion. Suppose this floating book, I just pick it like this. Then what does it experience if I pick it like this from the air? Unbalanced force. Got it? If I increase, I push it very harder and it increase the movement, then what is this experiencing now? It is floating. I am now pushing hard and it is floating very faster. Now, what it is experiencing now? Balanced force, unbalanced force.
Unbalanced
Balance force.
Now you got an idea. So, balanced force can experience in two conditions. One is simply an object is lying on rest. No movement, nothing like that. No shape changes. But similarly, an object is continuously moving for hours with the same speed, same direction, nothing like that, just moving. So that time also it is experiencing a balanced force. If we apply something, if you just say that a car is moving for 2 hours and then it take a turn, in that cases, what is your answer going to be? Balanced or unbalanced force?
Unbalanced.
Unbalanced. You got that point? So that is the balanced force. Gauri, are you okay with it now?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is Newton. So you have to think about it is a Newton's first law. A body remain in state of rest or state of motion unless an external unbalanced force applied on it. So a body can be continually in motion without any change. A body can remain at rest without any change. In that case, it always experiences the balance force. Yes.
Ma'am, what will be the net force of a balanced object?
Zero.
Ma'am, so if a car is moving, then the mechanical force acting on it is more than the force exerted by friction or gravitational forces, no?
It's okay, but the thing is that why? If the car has some problem, is car is stopping in between, is car is changing the direction, or car is decreasing the speed, anything is happening in that case, Gauri? Is it anything happening? No. So there is no change in...
But ma'am, it's moving forward, isn't it? Ma'am, it is moving forward, isn't it?
It's moving forward, but there's a change in between the motion I'm asking. If the motion has to change, there should be either speed should increase or decrease, or direction, or you have to apply the brake, something like that. Okay. So there was a frictional force acted before the car to start. There was a frictional force acting. That is why you are starting. When you start it, what is happening? frictional force, the mechanical force of the car is overcoming the frictional force. Once it overcomes it, it starts moving continuously. And in between, there is no way of overcoming that mechanical force. Not a single force is acting on it to break that motion. That is the idea of unbalanced force over there. There's no change in state. So that is the idea of balanced force and unbalanced force.
Excuse
Okay.
me, ma'am. So the property that the net force of balanced subject to zero is not applicable to every situation.
Not every situation, depending upon the situation. For example, now I am standing. Yes, now I am experiencing a balanced force. I am not falling. I am not going backward. Okay, my hands are moving. That is there, but I am in my particular position. Suppose I am going to move back. Yes, now I am applying the unbalanced force. Now each one of you sitting in your place. Each one of you sitting in your place. Are you changing its position? You are still there. Of course, you are waving the hands. You are talking and all. In that way, there is a force acting. But as an object, are you moving from the position? That's my question. You are not moving. So you are at balance. You are at balance condition. A tree is growing. A tree is growing. Okay. Is that experiencing balanced or unbalanced force?
Balanced.
Balance force.
Balanced force. Suppose a storm comes, a tree falls down. Then there is a
Unbalanced.
So there is
Unbalanced
no change.
force.
So there is no state. Okay. This is happen in our daily life. Yeah.
Ma'am, if a car is moving, then the net, ma'am, if a car is moving without any change in a state of motion, the net force will not be zero, isn't it?
Net force will acting on the car will be zero now. Zero means it is using mechanical force, but there is no another external forces acting on it in order to change the car's motion. Gauri, you get that point? State of motion. State of motion. State of motion includes speed, direction, and all. So in this case, a body is moving. From that initial state, do you have any change in its direction or speed? That is the thing, because motion of an object is described by both the speed and the direction. And motion of rest is described by its position.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, if a car is moving when we apply the brake, it will be...
If you apply the brake, naturally it is experiencing an unbalanced force. When you apply the brake, what will happen to the car which is moving? It will
Stop.
stop. Yeah. So that time it is unbalanced force.
Ma'am, when brake applies, it is frictional force or muscular force?
It is frictional force is acting more than the mechanical force.
Ma'am,
Okay.
but we are for applying the brake, we need to push the brake. So
You have to apply the brake. When you apply the brake, there's an accelerator which is stopping the motion of the tires, correct? So if the tire has to stop, when you apply the mechanical force, the frictional force should support that mechanical force. That means frictional force should be greater than the mechanical force. Then only it will stop. You apply the brake, but it is continually moving. Do you have idea of riding the cycle as you come from mountain? How do you move? Can you move with the neutral without applying? If you are coming from mountain and you go down, even you ride the motorbike. Some of you switch off the entire engine. You remember, you have seen now some of the brothers or your people.
Yes.
And what they do? When you stop it also, what happened? It is coming. The bike will continue
Downward.
moving in neutral. Yeah, it's neutral. So where is the frictional force? Where is the mechanical force over there? Okay. So there is less friction that time. That's why when you come down,
Gravitation.
what happened? You can ride the bicycle in neutral without using mechanical. You switch off the engine, the bike it will go. Correct? And once it comes to the flat, then you started started the bike again. So that's some of the conditions. Okay, got it?
Ma'am, can I leave and join?
Okay, dear. Okay. Fine. Okay, children. So I hope it's clear to you. So I know you have to, these are the two things you have to think about regarding the unbalanced force. That is, one is state of position can change and state of motion can change. State of motion described by its speed and direction mainly. Okay. So we have last class we learned pressure. Did we start pressure? Oh, you did not start. Sorry, other class. So after finishing the force, we are now moving on to the next thing, which is related to our force. So that is of pressure. That is the first class, no? After the thing. Okay. Now, I am asking you, Adityan,
Yes, ma'am.
can you just tap your hands together, Adityan? Yes, very good. Can you poke your palm with your pen now? Not slowly. How you clap it with the same force can you do it? Okay. Poke it. Not like this. Poke it.
Ma'am, then we will feel pain.
We will feel pain. Why do we feel pain?
Pressure is
That is from this what we will understand pressure. So pressure is the force acting per unit area. You got it now, Lakshmi? Who is at home? Who is at home near you?
ma'am, sister.
Okay. So what is the pressure? Pressure is the force acting per unit area. Now, another important point. So you can write it down next to, this is the second topic of this chapter. Almost we can say the last part of the chapter, force and pressure. So pressure is the force acting per unit area. So now you are going to get a first physical mathematical equation related to physics. That is, if you wanted to calculate the pressure, we have to divide the force, how much an object is applied, and divided by area. Okay. So we represent pressure as P, and force as F. Force as F.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, dear. Tell me.
No, ma'am, I just asked.
Okay, okay, fine. Fine. Okay, so pressure is force by area. And now, just like force has SI unit. What is the SI unit of force, Lakshmi?
Newton.
Similarly, we have another unit of pressure, Pascal. Pascal is the scientist who has discovered Archimedes principle. That also 9th standard portion. So Archimedes principle he discovered, Pascal. It is something related to pressure. So SI unit of pressure is given in his name, Pascal or capital PA. And we also have another equation that is known as Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. How do we get this SI unit from this equation? So we have the SI unit of force is Newton. What is the unit of area in Mach? What is the area in Mach?
Meter square.
Meter square. So we are writing meter square. Did you study exponents in your class?
Yes, ma'am.
Max?
Yes.
Okay. If I take this meter squared in upstairs, I mean to the numerator, what is it going to be?
It will be opposite.
Opposite side. So this is equal to Newton meter raised to
Newton
minus 2. Correct? This is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same thing we are writing like this. Suppose you put a bar, then you don't have to write the negative sign. So actually, Newton per meter square and Newton meter raised to minus 2, both are same. Okay? Therefore, 2 Pascal is equal to how many Newton per meter square? I said Pascal and Newton per meter square both are same unit. So 2 Pascal, how many Newton per meter square?
2 Newton per meter square.
2 Newton
2
per meter.
Newton.
Correct. 2 Newton per meter square. 20 Pascal, how much it is equal to?
20 Newton.
20 Newton.
20
Newton per
Newton
meter
per
square.
meter square.
Newton.
That means both the units are same. for pressure. Got it? Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay. Now, yeah.
ma'am, I have network issue. Can I keep my video off?
Okay. So now, what is the relation between pressure? Relation between pressure and force. So you are going to see how does pressure and force is related. What? The pressure describes how a force is spread over an area. For example, if I take a book, I am holding in the book at this particular point and shifting it. That means where the pressure is acting in my, when I pick up, is that it is going to act entire book or only where I am holding it? Where is my muscular force is acting?
And the entire book.
Entire book. Okay. Adityan, I am asking Adityan. When Adityan tap, you got the pain in all of your palms? Okay. When you poke your palm, where did you get the pain? Is it entire palm got pain? Only that where you poked?
Only that.
Huh?
Only where I put.
Where you put. So, the force, where do you act? Area. Okay. So, the effect of the force is actually on that particular point where you apply. Okay. But at this point, if it is acting only in the corner, you can see, look at the book is just half is lying down. Okay. I cannot hold it properly. Okay. So it has, this other part is at least little bit slanting and all those things are there. So that means where you act the force, that particular area only the pressure will act. Okay. There will be little more effect on rest of the part, but still more pressure will be acting on that small area. More pressure will be acting on the small area. Therefore, what we can say, pressure is a measure of how much force is acting on a certain area. So this is a relation. That is, pressure is a measure of how much force is acting on a certain area. Okay? Yes. So, relation between area now. Have you completed this?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Adityan.
Ma'am, we have separate chapter for friction.
Yes, we have. Next chapter is friction.
Okay, ma'am.
Then the third chapter is sound. Then we come to the electrostatic force again. Some natural phenomena in that.
Don't change the slide.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So next is how the relation between area and pressure. I'm going to ask you Adityan alone, because since Adityan has done, Adityan already told me that where I poked, then I got more pain. So Adityan, in which case you felt more pain? While poking or while clapping?
While poking.
That means, what do you understand? If the area is smaller, the pressure is more on the surface of the same force. So, next point is relation between pressure and area. Relation between pressure and area. Under that, you can write this last sentence. If the area is smaller, the pressure is more on the surface for the same force. That means I told Adityan to apply the same force. So when area was less, when he was poking, that area where he applied his muscular force was less. So in that case, he got a more pain. This is what happened. A girl who wear high heel shoes and a girl wear flat shoes. If they are walking on the beach, whose feet will be dig into the sand more? Is it high heeled one? High heeled one. You got it? High heel. So flat girl may not be that much effect. So this is the same reason for it. Not only that, suppose you have a shoulder bag when you come to the school. You can see the strap of the shoulder bag is broad. Why? We should keep that breadth over there on your shoulder. We can have this small thread like. What's the meaning?
Because if it is a linear type bands, then it will cause a lot of pain.
Yes, yeah. So if it is broad, you will not experience more pain because of the weight of the books. But if you have a narrow this one, then naturally it will give you a more pain. And you can see sometimes we will be wearing some tight dress. If it is very narrow and all, you can see there's a red mark rashes on your body. So that is because you are experiencing more pressure wearing that kind of dresses. So if the area is smaller, the pressure is more, or vice versa. Vice versa means what?
Vice versa. Area is bigger, the pressure is less.
If the area is bigger, pressure is less. Okay, dear. So from this, we come to the two factors affecting the pressure. From these two relations clubbed together, you will get two factors affecting pressure. The first factor is force. If you apply more force, first is applied force. How much force you act. So if force increases, pressure increases. Second one, area of the surface. Okay, so by combining both of this relation, we will get factors affecting the pressure. If you apply more force, more pressure. If you apply on small area, pressure is more. If applying on more area, pressure is less. So this is known as applied force and area of the surface. Okay, so we can wind up the session now. I just want to take attendance. Is there any student named Jaden in your class?
No.
There is someone is attempted twice in the exam. The one is in the name of Jaden. Who is that? Maybe some brother of some of you. Huh? I don't know. When I saw the mark list, 8A Jaden. I don't know who is that person. So maybe the...
No Jaden.
So that is someone attempted the exam twice. That's it indicate. Okay. Yes, Aditya.